backs when they play here. They really don't like it.
It is going to be the home side then who are going to get us off and underway, and straight away we can see another problem there for the guys at the back as Chris Hill picks up the ball for Huddersfield and is driven back to the 10-metre line. The sun is shining right in the faces of the Huddersfield players in this first half. Salford will have to deal with that a little bit less perhaps in the second half as the sun moves, but I wouldn't want to be receiving the ball, as you say, Tez, with those high kicks that come firing through in a swirling wind with the sun right in your face.
Yeah, look, you've got to play the conditions, haven't you? And whether the sun's out or it's raining, I just, when I look at this Huddersfield team, and a lot of people are writing them off. A lot of people are really writing them off, but you look at the positive from last week when they played that game against Salford that they won. For 58 minutes, they kept them scoreless. That's the sort of performance that they need, because when you've got Jake Conn and you've got Tuilol here, you know that they can genuinely attack.
Ashton Golding playing at hooker this afternoon as a first ball is testing Ryan Brierley. Just a little slip from there, and there is Golding going chase after him after the kick return. Just over the 10-metre line. No, they bring it back into the centre.
The back end of the year as well, you'll see that players are putting their hands up and they're playing because they're down on numbers for whatever reason. Really impressed with like Ryan Brierley playing. He had to leave the field last week with a rib injury. I didn't think he'd be playing in this game.
Yeah, it is a bit of a surprise. It's normal at this time of year, though, isn't it, that we always get quite a few walking wounded here and there. But as you say, players more than happy to put their hands up and try and get themselves in the side. And certainly as far as Salford are concerned, they'll be desperate to try and get themselves over the line. Here's Logan Lewis, who moves up towards the halfway line. The ball's gone down there, and Huddersfield will get this back.
Yeah, well, he's been given an opportunity to start, hasn't he? Obviously, you miss someone like Ollie Parton, Logan Lewis. I've been really impressed with him since he come in. The youngster from down under. Isn't it? From my goal initially, and then as he's going down, you can just see the grapple. He loses the ball.
Ash Golding's missed the last 3 games for Huddersfield. It's only the second time that he's started at hooker this season. Last time that happened was a 50 points to 8 win at Castleford in March, so he'll be desperately hoping that they can find something of a similar nature this afternoon as Connor gets his first proper touch at the ball and a big run forward for Chris Hill to the 40-metre line. Still going strong, Chris Hill, at the ripe old age. In fact, his Super League debut now stretches back further than anybody else's as Huddersfield go chasing after this one. That's a long ball down the right-hand side, which eventually goes out of play. But Huddersfield intent on putting some pressure on the Salford line.
Yeah, he just loses the ball, doesn't he, Aidan McGowan? Look, play what's in front of you. That was a good kick, wasn't it? He just couldn't quite take the ball in, McGowan, when that ball's kicked to him. But it's not a bad place where you turn the ball over. Tuilol here got all the IQ and some of the best rugby players. You can just see how close he was.
Singleton then back to Mellor as Salford get it back underway, and somebody's lost a boot there. It's Callum Watkins. He'll have to go chasing after his footwear, and the ball moves back into the centre. There's a good tackle from Harry Rushton. There's Mellor again with the first touch, and Singleton to try and bring it forward again now for the Salford Red Devils. Still a good close edge towards their own line as Mellor gets it out to the right-hand side. And Watkins, having retrieved his foot, manages to find Denny McDonald up towards the 40. And a good bit of ground has been gained by the home side as they're back up towards the halfway line now. There's Lewis again, back towards Mellor, turned in through the middle. And yet another of those high swirling kicks from Mark Sneed, which have been a hallmark of Salford's play throughout the entire season. But meat and drink there for Jake the Snake, who seemed to be playing with a real smile on his face at the moment. He certainly had a big smile on his face last week against Castleford.
Yeah, you said, didn't you, before the game, man of the match last week, he's a player that likes to get his hands on the ball and come up with magical plays, sometimes overplays a bit too much. And this Salford side, look, they're a classy side. They didn't look threatening at all last week. Individually, I thought defended well, but as a team, they were really poor, and the scoreline suggests that. Nice shot from Hankinson.
Hankinson was impressive in that game last week, despite the scoreline against Lee. That try-saving tackle that he came up with was quite incredible as Hill again brings it forward. Jake Connor making his 100th Giants appearance this afternoon. The fullback as he brings this one back up towards the Salford 10-metre line. And that's an easy take for Dion Cross, who's been ever present for Salford so far this season. Winner in all 23 league and cup matches. Salford's form, 4 defeats and 2 wins in their last 6 games, including a loss against Huddersfield. So it's no wonder that pressure has been talked about as far as Salford are concerned. They've been fearless entertainers over the course of the whole season, but things have just gone a little bit awry in recent weeks. But a massive opportunity for them this afternoon, given the way that some of the other results have gone in Super League over the course of the weekend. They could find themselves up to 4th. And if they get a win this afternoon, I think, Terry, one more might just do it for them.
Yeah, well, there's certainly, like you said, a side that like to entertain. A big towering kick again into the sun.
And that's gone out on the full.
Wow.
Sam Halsall just watched it.
I think it just bounces in the field.
Just go up on the field, just a touch.
Yeah.
Well, he was stood right in front of the ball there, Sam Halsall.
Well, it's a big one to take, that, isn't it? Look, Sam Halsall gets it. He knows how close he is to the sideline. He's desperate fit to go over the sideline. It just takes a kind bounce in the field of play.
Oh, it's just very, very close indeed. Sam Halsall might feel he's got away with one perhaps there.
You were talking about Salford and saying about like how good they are with the ball. Like last week, I thought they conceded some soft tries, and something that Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty would have worked on this week. Huddersfield have come with a genuine intent to defend and do the right thing for each other.
Savelio is tackled. He's making his 150th career appearance this afternoon. Quite a few players with milestones this afternoon as Hewitt goes down under the tackle. Golding waits. Hill again, the 2 number 8s up against each other as Singleton goes in for the challenge along with Chris Atkin, who's playing at loose forward for Salford this afternoon. Quick hands down the line. This is good stuff from the visitors, and down the right-hand side they go. It's a lovely run to the Gavin Nagama, and Nagama just brought down 20 metres short of the line, and they've turned defence into attack here very, very quickly. The Huddersfield Giants through the middle here with Tui Lolehea, trying to get a grubber kick through for Nagama, and the tackle goes in, and it looks like it's a good covering challenge again from Chris Hankinson.
Do you know what? He did an amazing job. Like, he obviously prevented that effort then, but he came back and put himself in between Aidan McGowan and Tui Lolehea. They brought through. He couldn't go to the left-hand side. The Salford players were coming across to close the players down. But this is when Huddersfield are really good. They play the ball. Nice ball from Jake Connor at the back to Kevin Nagama. He's looking on the inside. Look, he knows he's got to go on the outside, but Chris Hankinson just does enough to stop him.
Terrific work from Hankinson. Defensively, he's pretty handy in attack as well, it's probably fair to say. Home side in possession at the moment, though, with McDonald being tackled into the middle. It's, Lewis will be getting back to his feet here. Mellor quickly out to the left side, and a quick touch for Mark Sneed. Lolehea in the challenge there as Shane Wright gets it out towards the right-hand side. Another touch for Sneed, and then Singleton again.
Do you know, it's a pretty solid line from Huddersfield. You're looking at them, there's no one jumping the line trying to solve problems themselves. They're numbering up well as well.
Yeah, they're making it difficult for Salford in these early stages to try and push through the middle, perhaps having more success down the flanks. It's a good run from Nenny McDonald. He lost the ball momentarily there, but it's picked up by Nikarima, who's away. Nikarima needs some support, and he finds it, and straight through the middle for Chris Atkin. He scores the first try of this afternoon, and Salford are back to scoring ways, having been nilled against Lee last week. They've got themselves in front with less than 10 minutes on the clock.
Well, Chris Atkin on his 100th Salford appearance, he is Mr. Versatile. Incredible. You know, they saw the chance that Huddersfield got with Tui Lolehea when he broke through. It was the desperation in defence from Salford to stop them scoring. They get one chance, they get one crack at it, Salford, and they managed to go through, get through the line. Nenny McDonald breaks tackles for fun. It's a bit of a loose ball. It's picked up by Nikarima. Well, he has got some wheels. Nicarima doesn't panic, and Chris Atkin, like I said, always there supporting. Route 1 for them, and he might have missed the last 4 games, Chris Atkin. Well, he doesn't look out of shape, does he? I think he's one of those players that doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
I remember seeing very early on in the season a game where Ryan Briley managed to pick up an injury in the warm-up, and Chris Atkin at the last moment got thrown in at full-back and played an absolute blinder. So it's that kind of player, that kind of character that teams who are going to be successful and be there come the end of the season desperately need, because there are going to be problems, there are going to be issues with injuries, suspensions, etc, etc. But if you've got a player like Chris Atkin that you can call on, that's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, he's tough, isn't he? He's tough. And Mark Sneed just knocks over another 2 points. So 6-point advantage. Like I said, Huddersfield have had an opportunity, they've had a chance, but the desperation in defence from Salford to prevent them from getting over the line. Nene MacDonald gets the ball away. Nicarima, I was so impressed when I saw him at Catalan, and Chris Atkin. Like I said, every time I see him play, he really does impress me. He always comes to the fore, whether he's playing anywhere in the back line or in the forwards.
Yeah, Jaden Nicarima does seem to have settled in very, very nicely since coming here from Catalans, playing beautifully alongside Mark Sneed in the halves. Probably coming here with 1 or 2 question marks and maybe a little bit to prove, but he's certainly done a very, very good job of that so far, as Ethan Ryan takes this one to the 20. It's a decent return. Salford wanting to quickly move this ball along the line and up the pitch. As MacDonald was tackled there, Mellor swings it across towards Singleton again. 3 in the tackle initially for Huddersfield Giants, including Ashton Golding and Harry Rushton. As Mellor again swings it across. Quick touch for Atkin, and that's a high shot gone in there by the looks of things. And sure enough, a referee blows his whistle very, very quickly. A little bit of concern here as well by the looks of it.
Yeah, Logan Lewis, when he sits up, players just saying to him, just have a minute. He gets the penalty. And it'd be interesting to see where the actual contact was made on him. And it was a tip-on player, wasn't it? He turns up, look, the hands up from the physio. Yeah, he's fine.
He's had a tough couple of weeks, Logan Lewis, because he was very much at the centre of things against St Helens a couple of weeks ago, where he very famously lost his lunch, so to speak, after a massive collision. And that was the first time I've ever seen a referee calling for water to be able to wash away the evidence afterwards.
Yeah, it was James Bell. It was James Bell, wasn't it?
But he looks like he's okay, fortunately. And we'll be carrying on. The man who's here until the end of the season from Canberra Raiders.
Well, you look, so I think when the video ref is going to be looking for and having confirmation marks if there's any force in it.
Is it the second contact that came in from Cervello there? He's been spoken to by the referee Marcus Griffiths, and sure enough, the video referee says 10 minutes in the bin for Andre Cervello.
And the game's been really consistent all year with that. Players fall into the ground, 10 minutes in the sin bin, because he was falling to the ground. And Andre Cervello, I'll be disappointed. Huddersfield will be disappointed, really. Behind by 6 points.
It's often the case in games like this where it's very tight that can be the difference between a team staying level or conceding. So an opportunity for the Salford Red Devils to take advantage with an extra player on the pitch.
Well, and Salford going into this game as well, obviously knew that Catalan lost last night, knew that Saints lost today. They know that
it really is a huge opportunity.
Yeah, it's a big 2 points for them that's on offer today.
Mellor bringing it quickly, trying to bust his way through the Huddersfield line, but Chris Hill, big Chris Hill, gets his hands over the top of him. Atkin waits at dummy half, goes in towards Sneed, waiting for support, but takes a little while before eventually finding Shane Wright, who is wrapped up in the tackle. Mellor comes up behind again. Back towards Sneed once more. Little grubber kick through, and Briley chasing after this one. And Ryan Briley, as we've seen time after time after time, pounces on the through ball from Mark Sneyd. Referee wants to have a second look at it. He gives it a try on the field. And for the first time, we go to the video referee, Aaron Moore.
Okay, so it's tackle 4, and we have an on-field decision of a try. So it's from a kick, so we'll pause this on the foot. So Sneyd's kicking the ball. So we'll pause it there. Yeah, I'm happy all chases to the right are onside, so we can go closer into the ground in here. So we'll play it through, and we'll go closer in. Go camera. Go camera 1 here to see that view. This should tell us. So we'll go close in on this. So slowly on this. So Ryan Briley takes possession of the ball cleanly. And he grounds the ball. I've seen all I need.
Well, how many times have we seen this over the years? A lovely grubber kick through from Mark Sneyd, pounced on by Ryan Briley.
Now, he's got one of the biggest boots in the competition. Confirmation that the try has been awarded, but his delicate kick as well, Mark Sneyd. Everything's about tempo in his game. He's changed the tempo in the way that he plays the game. He's changed the tempo the way he carries the ball as well. Kicks a further 2 points. It's been a really bright start, hasn't it? Opening 13 minutes for Mark Sneyd and his side.
Well, it's chalk and cheese compared to how it was last week, isn't it?
Well, that's saying so disappointed last week in everything. All the effort areas, what you normally associate with Salford, but to not even fire a shot and to concede 26 points. They've come into this game with a real focus. When they get down there, you know that Mark Sneyd will pull the right players out. That's his 20th try assist of the year for Mark Sneyd, and Ryan Briley, well, is one of the best at sniffing out those opportunities.
And that was his 73rd goal of the season as well, Mark Sneyd. That's 73 from 82, which I think is about a 90% success rate. Quite incredible. He hasn't actually missed one since Hull on July the 7th. And the good news, of course, for the home fans is that he's signed a contract extension for another 2 years as well. So Mark Sneyd set to be still playing for the Salford Red Devils at the good old age of 35 eventually, if he carries on like this. Meantime, Giants have some defending to do as Mellor finds Sneyd, and then Logan Lewis. This is good, honest progress from Salford Red Devils as Connor picks it up at the back, turns it in towards McGowan.
Well, even if you look at that set of 6 that Salford had, Logan Lewis, 2 big strong carries that gets those quick play the balls, that gets the quick rucks, that allows them to get down here on the back of a strong kick. And then it's up to all his other teammates now to come up with the players and dominate here.
Salford's completion rate over the course of the season has been absolutely phenomenal. They have the highest set completion rate of any team in the league, 79.6%.
Which is incredible, really, the way they play. They'll throw the ball in the line, 10 metres from the line. You're going to get a penalty now. Some real strong carry. I think it's Sam Halsall.
It is.
Carries the ball strongly. He gets rewarded with a penalty. Well, you're talking about the completion rate from Salford. Look, they'll play anywhere on the field, and normally teams that throw the ball around make mistakes, but not Salford.
They have been one of the most fearless entertainers in Super League so far this season, Salford, but it doesn't always necessarily translate to wins, as they found out a few times in recent weeks as Sam Hewitt goes down in the challenge. Golding again through the middle to Rushton, and now Cudjoe. Another player still going strong at a relatively ripe old age. Lollahea offloads quickly in the middle for Harry Rushton. They're up to the 20-metre line now here. Huddersfield have made good progress with Lollahea now. Way to his left-hand side for Chris Hill, skipping through the Salford line, getting close to the whitewash as Golden again out towards Lollahea, who just checks for a second. Not entirely sure what to do at the moment for getting a good offload. And now Cudjoe bypasses Rushton and goes for Nagama instead. Nagama inside the 10. We're up to the last tackle here. As out wide to the left-hand side it goes. A quick kick up in the air. Connor goes chasing after this one. He's managed to find it into the corner. And Jake Bibby, but it was forward by the looks of things. And that one will be chalked off.
Well, Jake Bibby, another former Salford man that thought that he'd got in for the opening try for Huddersfield, but been chalked off for the call that went forward. Huddersfield, it was a bit sloppy at the end of that set. Jake Connor takes the ball well. Halsall with the pass to Bibby. But they just lost the focus then, and Tuilola here is bouncing around and nobody's really behind him to offer themselves.
There's a big chance gone begging there. As Hankinson brings it forward now for Hill to come and try and bring him down, and Hill could see the try line begging there a little earlier on. He's yet to score in Super League so far this season.
That's a great run from your winger, that. And look at the fight again, just trying to play the ball quickly.
Dion Cross, another one of those players who's been so pivotal to everything that Salford have done this season. That one drops down, but Ethan Ryan comes away with it and almost gets his way through the line, but he's brought down on the Huddersfield 40. Nikarima now. Mellor almost had the ball pinched from out of his breadbasket there. As Rushton comes in for the tackle. Atkin waits just behind him. Turn to Sneed. Sneed's kick. It's another tester. Connor underneath it, but quickly pursued by McDonald, who tries to bring him back over the line, but quickly out the back door there, and they've done a good job, Huddersfield, to try and keep hold of the ball.
Well, Nene MacDonald, the number 3 for Salford, he's right-centred. He's come over to the left-hand side. He is that good in the air. When that ball goes up, he's the one who normally goes up. Genuine contest. And comes up with a great tackle on him again. They're just looking to turn the screw here, Salford.
Ollie Russell, and the penalty is given there.
Do you know, and that's the only negative with him, the amount of times that a couple of times they've let him off the hook instead of being really disciplined and just going about the work. They gave 8 penalties away last week, made 12 errors when they played against Leigh. Like, you tidy those areas up when you get into the playoffs. You tidy those areas up. You can't just give the opponents that easy field position. We say it all the time. You've got to make your opponents work hard for it.
And Huddersfield were pretty much on their own 10-metre line there as well.
And looked like they were struggling as well.
So a chance for Salford to really put the hammer down. Goes begging. Rushton with Golding waiting just behind him. Touch from Lollahea. Nagama. Golding back into the middle for Lollahea. A crash ball for Chris Hill, who takes a few with him. Look at the post-contact meters he's made there. He has a real wrecking ball of a player, Chris Hill, still. But the chance has gone begging here.
Yeah, there was a cry of forward from that ball to Chris Hill. It was flat. He goes through. The meters after contact, like you say, when he's hit the ground, he loses possession. Or at least it's in Salford's half. He's disappointed, knowing that that's that vital field position that you're after. You're looking for that good ball area, which is anywhere in Salford's 20. And he gets hold of the ball. He's going forward. And I say, he just loses the ball.
Talking about Salford's completion rates, Huddersfield's, well, only Leeds have got a lower completion rate than them in Super League this season. Huddersfield 75.4% in the league this term. And as you say, Terry, 1 or 2 errors mean that they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here in this opening 20 minutes of the game gone now.
And again, that's a bit of a head scratch, isn't it? Because everyone normally says that Huddersfield, they're all about completions and getting to the kick, and they were accusations that are a bit boring, but making plenty of errors. That's where they see themselves outside of those playoff positions.
Salford 20 metres from the Huddersfield line then, as Mellor out through the middle to Shorrocks, and now Joe Bullock, who's come on as a substitution. Mellor wants to play it quickly. There'll be 6 more here. Here's Shorrocks, close in, very close to the line as he tried to crash through the Huddersfield defence. Mellor goes to his right, but he gets immediately set up on there by Leroy Cudjoe. That's a brilliant covering tackle. And they're pushed back an extra couple of metres or so, but Sneed now trying to jink his way through this Huddersfield line. Gets the treatment from Chris Hill before Mellor will eventually get this one down to the right-hand side. And Cervello will be about to come back onto the pitch in just a moment or two. So Huddersfield will be back up to the full complement. And they're doing well here, pushing players back, the Salford attackers. Corner and Golding. As Mellor screws it through towards Sneed. Another long looping pass, but it's to no one, and Cross has done well here to get past the first and into the second, and Ryan Briley in the corner, and that was absolutely superb work from Dion Cross. Somehow he managed to scramble that ball, get through the tackle and turn it away to make it an easy chance for Ryan Briley.
Well, Ryan Briley in for his second of this game, like you said. Cross, the powerful winger that he is, manages to get through the line. It was a bit of a sloppy pass from Mark Sneed. It goes on the ground, but there's no panic from Salford. They just look up. They're playing the game in the area where they want to be, and he's the big key indicator to where that ball's going. Mark Sneed, you see the job that Dion Cross does, and just the awareness to keep alive from Ryan Briley. Like, he just makes himself impossible to drop Ryan Briley. I think he's another one of those players at Salford. How many times do we look at Salford and say, right, he's got an opportunity, he's had an opportunity. Every time they get given a chance, some of these players have been shown the door by other clubs, but as a team and as individuals, they play really, really well. And Dion Cross, well, hasn't he taken his chance since he stepped up from Super League?
It is something that Paul Rowley has. I was here a couple of weeks back, and Barry was asking about the secret sauce that Paul Rowley has, how he manages to take these sorts of players, like you say, where in many cases they've been shown the door by other clubs, but he still manages to get the best out of them.
Do you know, as daft as it sounds, a bit of loving, a bit of belief. That's all that some players need, a bit of arm around them. To say, look, you come here, you be a part of the side, this is the way I want you to play. I see you as a vital cog in our system.
Probably none more vital in this system than this fella here, Mark Sneed, who is having an excellent season. And that is an excellent kick from right up against the byline. He makes it 3 from 3, Mark Sneed. And it's all Salford so far.
You'll always get plenty of movement from Salford. Let's say Mark Sneed, the big indicator where that ball's going. It wasn't the best pass from him, but the awareness from Dion Cross, the powerful winger that he is. He just picks the ball up, he manages to get through the line, he turns around, and then all of a sudden Ryan Briley's in there for an easy try and just goes in, scores the try, and it's a commanding lead, isn't it? 23 minutes gone, leading by 18 points.
Well, after that performance last week by Huddersfield against Castleford, you might have expected them to be a lot closer at this stage in the game, but Salford have come racing out of the blocks this afternoon, and Ethan Ryan is tackled just short of the 30. It's a good work again from Logan Lewis.
Again, it's like the options that the ball carrier's got. They've got the little tip-on play, they've got someone who's out the back.
Nicarima and Watkins back out to Nenny McDonald. And they can't get a hold of him here. He's like a bar of soap, Nenny McDonald.
It just makes things look so easy, doesn't he? Looking at 4 players around, knowing that he's got a devastating offload.
The other thing is that will do is it'll tire out one or two of the defenders if he can bounce off them, and they're just grabbing at thin air at times. As Mellor finds Sneed on the 40. And another high hoisted one straight into the hands of McGowan. That's well taken by the youngster.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go as well, has he? And the big play and the big call there from the Salford players is don't let him off the hook, don't give penalties away.
Halsall is tackled, corner, waiting at dummy half to find Nagama to the 20. And, playing this one fairly early and a long height. He's gone for the 40-20, I think, by the looks of it, but it's not got enough pace on that one. And Ryan Briley will pick it up. Will run straight into Tuilolahea. Wow. Quite some challenge there.
Well, both smiling at each other.
I think they both enjoyed that one.
Huddersfield not gaining any ground going forward, so they kick early. And that's the respect that they had for Salford's defensive line.
Chris Hankinson has appeared in 16 of 23 games this season, including the last 12. Here's Ryan, still going, Ethan Ryan, and he stepped away from the defenders, but his kick is straight into the hands of Jake Connor, who was watching that one like a hawk before eventually he's taken a knock here. And this doesn't look good. This does not look good for Jake Connor.
Yeah, well, straight away the Salford players just called for assistance for Jake Connor. And Ethan Ryan kicked that ball, he backed himself, and Jake Connor gets his hands on the ball.
Well, he doesn't look happy about this at all, does he?
I was just going to say, unfortunately for him, it looks like he's come off second best, and already communication with the physio to the sideline. Never a good sign.
Well, his 100th Giants appearance, perhaps not one for the scrapbook if this is anything more than a bit of a knock. But straight away, when that collision happened, he went straight down and immediately looked in an awful lot of discomfort.
Yeah, we're just getting some checks on his knees. Had some trouble with them over the years. Talented player. Like I said, his 100th Giants appearance. Like, he never eases his way into a game, Jake Connor. He goes at the game straight from the off. I think it was last week, the opening 3 minutes, he kicked the 40-20. He's like so talented and so influential to this side.
Player of the match last week against Castleford. Kicked 4 from 4 with the boots. And very much playing with a smile on his face again after what's been a fairly difficult starting period for him at Huddersfield. So it's good to see him back on his feet there. And hopefully, Terry, it looks like he'll be able to carry on here.
Well, if you can get Jake Connor playing with a smile on his face, you've won half the battle, haven't you? Look, he goes down, and Ethan Ryan, when he lands on his leg funny, I don't think there was any malice in it whatsoever.
Maybe just a bit of hyperextension or something like that. Well, I'll keep an eye on Jake Connor. Fingers crossed he's going to be okay to carry on for the rest of the game. As Hewitt here is gathered up by the Salford defenders. Ashton Golding brings it inside. Rushton with a quick touch on. Lola here into Savelio, who's back on the field, having been sin-binned in the early stages of the match.
They're doing a decent job at the ruck, though, slowing it down. Ash Golding not getting any opportunities to go.
Playing it to their own pace as Russell gets that one forward. And it'll go out of play close to the corner flag.
Look, it's a nice kick, wasn't it, from Ollie Russell? Let's see what the side can do on the back of that. He's very calm, he's very structured, Ollie Russell. Gets good connection on that ball, turns Salford around. The 10 metres from the line, it's up to the big forwards, those big boppers in the middle now to stop Salford going forward and stopping them playing.
Hankinson is tackled, and Mellor gets it through to Dion Cross to the 20-metre line. Plenty of NRL action coming up over the course of the weekend. Set your alarms very early for those games. Just under 13 minutes remaining in this first half, and Salford leading by 18 points to 0, which in itself is perhaps a little bit of a surprise. As English gets into the tackle there, and Sneed, but it's taken a deflection off a Huddersfield player by the looks of things, and it slows the ball down for Aidan McGowan to go chasing after it. Callum Watkins, look at that, one of the first players straight in there to challenge that kick.
Yeah, well, he's one of the best, isn't he? The honesty, the work that he does off the ball. 33 years of age, but I reckon he's been outstanding for the last 2 years. He's one of those players that leads by his actions.
I did have a quick chat with him this afternoon as he arrived at the stadium, and I said, "You are maturing like a fine wine." He said, "I'll take that." Russell with the offload in towards Hewitt. Hewitt to the 40, and Golding now through the middle again, and a kick forward from Tui Lolohea. And has that gone very, very close as well, and Briley knew it. Brian Briley knew it.
Well, it was desperation, wasn't it, from Ryan Brierley? He knew that he had to make a play for that. He knew that it was going to be a 40-20.
Well, Huddersfield gambled, and they've come up trumps on this occasion.
Yeah, they're going to play the ball, won't they? And Ryan Brierley touches it, knocks it out the field of play.
Brilliant kick from Tuolahea.
Well, both sides going for those early kicks, kicking on the third, kicking on the fourth play. That's a big play, though, for Huddersfield.
Chance then, maybe now, for the Giants to get some points on the board.
Well, desperate to be in this good ball area of the field.
Matty English will feed it out to Golding, who finds Cudjoe. Golding again, waits, back in, he bypasses English on that occasion, and there's a big shot gone round the mouth of Jake Bibby there by the looks of things. I think the referee eventually has decided to give that one.
Yeah, well, Ollie Russell hides himself behind the ruck. Him and Jake Bibby then come flashing on the other side. He cops a high shot. Jake Bibby again, a bit more pressure for them, trying to play the ball with a bit of speed.
6 more than they'll get, the Huddersfield Giants, as English brings it forward to take the first tackle. Golding just behind him. Expects to go for the short side, but then goes himself. Can't quite make it. Couple of metres from the line now. In towards Cudjoe. He'll tie up a few more in this carry. Golding waits again. Goes to the left side. It's a loose ball, but they've managed to keep hold of it. As Russell gets wrapped up in the tackle. Bibby comes in at dummy half, down to the left-hand side, right out to the flank now. This one for Halsall to try and chase after, and they get him down at the second attempt. Closer and closer. Golding chipped through from Russell, and that will be just shepherded out by the Salford defenders, and they defuse the danger momentarily.
Do you know, it was a nice end to the set from Huddersfield, but not much happened in the previous 4 or 5 plays for that. Ollie Russell takes control, goes down that short side, gets a delicate kick in. You can see it was going for Andrea Cervello, and Joe Mellor not taking any chances. Another set of 6. They need to fire some shots, though, for me.
Yeah. Pressure is all well and good, but it has to have some end products. And so far, that's been a little bit lacking for Huddersfield. As the goal line dropout is kicked all the way up towards the halfway line, and Cervello will trundle this forward again. Gaining around about 20 metres before Russell finds English. English eking out an extra yard or 2. Golding. The player still waiting in the tackle there as Russell does well, but then he's picked up by Nenny MacDonald. There were hands touched in there. The referee has blown the whistle. And he's calling it as a knock-on by Huddersfield.
Well, again, early in the tackle, counting the second play, and they just don't seem to be winning that battle at all. Not some desperation from Huddersfield, really. Ollie Russell goes into the line. He was hoping that Sam Hewitt just tagged with him and just hit that next hole. He didn't do that. Russell trying to just fix and isolate that defender to create the gap.
Well, Salford have won each of their last 5 Super League home games. As Cross skips through the centre of midfield here. The last 4 wins that Salford have had here, though, have been by margins of 8 points or fewer. At the moment, though, 18 points to 0 is a very commanding position to be in indeed.
Do you know, I'm just looking at Salford as well, and they look hungry. Well, they've got a good attitude. I think Huddersfield just need to rotate some of those bigger fellas and bring on Fenton Rodgers and bring on the likes of Sebe Kahihi for a penalty.
Yeah, high shot on Mellor there.
He's another one of those players, isn't he? How good has he been since he signed from Leigh? He grew up playing in the half-back. He's one of those players. I watched him at Widnes. He's tough as anything, Joe Mellor. Cops the high shot. Is it going to be a 2 points? No, Mark Sneed will go for 2 here, yeah. And it just takes that score away from them, doesn't it? They need 4 scores, then Huddersfield just a bit more pressure on them. And to get another 2 points and be leading by 20.
It's hard to do it from the middle of the posts. It just
Well,
means when you're in that red zone.
there's an awful lot of questions being asked of Huddersfield here,
As soon as that ball hits the
and
floor,
so far
as quick
we
as you
haven't
want.
really been able to come up with any answers.
Not that big, mate. That's it, bigger.
As Mark Sneyd just takes his time. Huddersfield have lost their last 6 away games in the competition, excluding neutral venues.
Make sure we stay on side here, guys.
Huge confidence booster for them last week against Castleford, as we've mentioned, but that seems to have been blown away in 34 minutes so far in this game.
I said before how good they were in that game against Castle.
Stay on side, Salford.
I think it was 58 minutes before they scored against them, but not in this game. And you know, they didn't have a good magic themselves, did they? Salford conceding 26 points, didn't manage to score anything. But if Mark Sneyd can knock this over, a 20-point advantage, just coming up to 35 minutes, is not a bad opening period.
It's a good 42 metres or so away from the goal line, but it doesn't matter because Mark Sneyd, from that sort of angle and that sort of distance, well, he has those for breakfast, doesn't he?
He's outstanding. Whether it's from the kicking tee or from out of hand, he has got to be the best kicker in Super League. And what also you like about him is the direction that he's giving everybody around him as well. It makes it so much easier, especially if you're one of those big fellas in the middle of the field when you've got a half-back back and the order's out.
Ethan Ryan receives the ball and gets run into straight away by Seb Ikehifo, who's come on as a substitute. Bullock now trying to burst his way through. Mellor waiting just behind him. And Ikehifo involved again here as he goes in on the tackle against Logan Lewis. Shorrocks almost to the halfway line. They're pushing him back here though. Ashton Golding, Leroy Cudjoe and Matty English. A triumvirate of shovers, but Nikarima's come away with a lovely ball down the right-hand side for Ethan Ryan here. The chase is on, back in towards Nikarima. And Jaden Nikarima gets Salford's 4th try of this afternoon. And this is turning into a battering in a very, very short part of the game. And they have been so different to how they were against Magic last week, but the Magic has returned here at Salford.
Yeah, well, it's just about options, isn't it? When they go down that right-hand side, they've got so many options to choose from, and you can see that the players, well, they just bit in on Nene MacDonald. There was some space created out wide, and Nikarima gets the ball. He's one of the quickest over short distance, Jaden Nikarima. And Ethan Ryan, what are you seeing from him? He just doesn't panic at all, and when you've got players in support, and Salford are one of those attacking players that once they get in the clear, they have got some support. They like to go after you, they like to play early, and he's a good dummy runner, Nene MacDonald, because he is that important on the right edge for Salford. You'll get defenders just panicking a bit and going in, and then the space is created on the edge outside of him. The defenders make the wrong choice and there's space created.
Jaden Nikarima's first try in Salford colours. He'd scored 2 tries earlier in the season for the Catalan Dragons. Signed on a 2-year contract in September and has fitted in very nicely indeed. That standoff. Working out as a perfect foil for Mark Sneyd. The two of them forming a very nice half-back combination.
Well, Mark Sneyd, and this is no disrespect to him whatsoever, but he hasn't quite got the legs that Jaden Nikarima's got.
It's probably not many players that have, to be fair.
But he's certainly got the brains, hasn't he? And that is a good combination.
So Sneyd then with the chance to make it 5 from 5. And the flags go up. 26 points to 0 with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first
Been a
half.
great first half, hasn't it, for Paul Rowley's men, and Jaden Nikarima gets the ball. He's the one who supplies Ethan Ryan. He goes down that wing over on the right-hand side. Jaden Nikarima just knows that it'll be a 2-on-1 at the back. And they managed to do all the right stuff and get over.
Bullock, massive run from him as he smashes into the Huddersfield defence there. Turn back in again for the Red Devils, and Ethan Ryan, who's also having a purple patch in recent weeks. Scored a cracking try here a few weeks back against Leeds. And run away into the corner. As Harvey Wilson has come on as a first-half substitute for the home side, and Ryan Briley almost with another tackle bust there through into the centre. And every time they've got hold of this ball here now, Salford, as we get 6 again.
Well, some decent quick rucks, isn't it? A nice offload from Callum Watkins as well. And Salford, they just can't stop them going forward, can't control them.
They just look so dangerous. Here's Bullock. Bullock, another of the big players through the middle that Salford have. As McDonald brings it back inside, turning and bouncing off tackles left and right. Nella goes for it himself, almost to the 10-metre line. Wilson then coming into Mellor, and now Bullock. Bullock with the offload, and he's done well. Shorrock's there to pick up the loose ball, but he's jumped on by Ollie Russell. Being told to get on with it, though, the referee, as Nikarima looked like he was going one way, then the other. One ball in one hand, still going Nikarima. That's brilliant. That is brilliant from Jaden Nikarima. Turning, dancing, squirming his way through the Huddersfield line, leaving them for dead. And Jaden Nikarima gets his second try, and that was a joy to watch.
Well, that's a hammer blow, isn't it? To concede that try just before half-time. They'll be so disappointed. It's an absolute battering in the opening 40 minutes. Look at that, his footwork, his speed. You can see a couple of players just switch off. Leroy Cudjoe caught flat-footed. And Salford, well, you play to the hooter, don't you? And they did that. They knew that the clock was just a few seconds from getting to the half-time hooter. And Jaden Nikarima, well, he's so dangerous, an attacking player. Like you said earlier, fitted in here at Salford.
You've got to love that celebration as well from Jaden Nikarima, who pretty much had the freedom of the pitch there. And Sneed, yet again, 6 from 6. That is the half-time whistle finally being blown. And it has been an afternoon to forget, Terry, for the Huddersfield Giants, hasn't it, so far?
Been really, really poor. They expected so much from them. Defensively, they were really strong. The opening 3 quarters of the game last week, they've just been miles off. And I know that they're missing 6 or 7 players.
Well, our referee Marcus Griffiths is about to get us off and underway, and Lola Hayer it is who immediately launches the ball, but then hangs back right at the back of the Huddersfield line. So it does look as though he is the man who's going to fill that full-back position for the rest of the game, given the fact that Jake Connor has gone off injured. But Salford very much in the ascendancy in this game, as Shorrock's immediately managing to feed it through towards Harvey Wilson, who missed the last 4 games. He made only his second appearance for Salford as a 14-minute substitution at Huddersfield in July. Player goes down under a challenge here, and the referee doesn't like the look of it, so a penalty has been given here.
Well, the penalty awarded in the first minute of the second half. Young Fenton Rogers onto the field. Is it Fenton Rogers that's been penalised for a late hit? Well, he's certainly one of the players, Fenton Rogers, that you look at him, he'll go all out for you. He's good defensively, he carries the ball strongly, and probably lacked a bit of that in the first half, Huddersfield.
So Salford get the player back in for Chris Hankinson. I'm hearing from the sidelines that a Huddersfield player may have had to go off for a head injury assessment. I'll try and get confirmation as to who exactly that was, as Nenny McDonald. It's Matty English, I'm told, who's gone off for a head injury assessment there, so further worries there for the Huddersfield Giants. Fenton Rogers, the player who's come on for him, as Hankinson brings it to the 30, as referee again blows his whistle. As a player has gone down, Harry Rushton, yeah, who's taken a knock during that tackle. So the physios have really got their work cut out this afternoon for Huddersfield.
Well, they got plenty of tackling practice last week at Magic Weekend. They're 39 over on that right-hand side. The big back rower can play prop forward as well. He's tough. The young man spent time in the NRL, and he's a player that certainly likes to get stuck in. And they were just checking who's going off for the HIA though.
Another one.
Wow. So Jake Connor, Matty English, now Harry Rushton. Head clash with Fenton Rogers it was. I told you Fenton Rogers was a tough one.
Yeah, just a little clash of heads there. Hankinson waits to get things underway again with Mellor, and he finds Bullock. Bullock bringing it forward again. Another player who shown the door by other clubs and is having a great time here at Salford. He's pushing it forward here is Wilson. 10 metres short of the line. Down the left they go. Sneed with a kick to the corner. McDonald going up for this one, but so too are three Giants, and he might get picked up and touched down by Ethan Ryan in the corner. And the referee will surely want to have another look at this one. He's giving it as a try on the field, but we'll have to get confirmation as to whether or not Ethan Ryan has scored another. We'll go to Aaron Moore.
Okay, so we've got no tackle. It's from a kick, so we'll pause it on the foot here. So chase to the right or onside, so we can play that through here. We'll go something closer in on the contest. So we'll go camera 8. This should tell us more. Close in on this. So they're all further competing for the ball here. Halsall looks to drop the ball, but I'll see if I've got any other angles on that to tell me more. This should tell me more. So they're further competing for the ball. That's in Sam Halsall's arms. And then he loses it forward, so we'll run it through. I'm happy with the contest there, so we're now at 0 because Sam Halsall's dropped the ball. So we'll play it through. It's offloaded by Callum Watkins. And then Ethan Ryan grounds the ball cleanly. I've seen all I need.
So, video referees had a good look at it, and Ethan Ryan has claimed the first try of the second half for the Salford Red Devils. Another Mark Sneed kick. A bit of chaos brought about by Nenny McDonald, as you would expect, and Ethan Ryan pounces to finish it off in the corner.
Well, he's the go-to man, isn't he, Nenny McDonald? He's good in the air. We talked about him in the first half, that he goes from one side of the field to the other to challenge for these kicks to make it into a competition. And the Irish international Ethan Ryan scores his 5th try of the year on the back of the pass from Callum Watkins, but precise kick from Mark Sneed. The fight in the air from Nenny McDonald to just make Huddersfield feel uncomfortable.
Well, this is probably the most difficult kick of the lot so far for Mark Sneed this afternoon. He is right up against the line. That trademark back to goal style of his, and he's pulled that one, and for the first time in a long time Mark Sneed has missed a kick.
I don't know whether the fans are are booing him or calling his name. Sneed like they normally do when he kicks, but it was a great kick from him.
Stay outside on his field.
So Mark Sneed had kicked 27 goals in succession. That's the first one he's missed since Hull on July the 7th. So Mark Sneed missed kicks are collector's items.
I was saying though, like whether he's kicking from the tee or out of hand, like sets up the tries. He's immense. Creates more tries than any other player in Super League from the boot. You see Nenny McDonald just looking for offloading the ball.
Shorrocks now. There's a high shot around the neck of Harvey Wilson.
Yeah, nice little change of direction. You can see when Harvey Wilson's got that ball, the young 20-year-old is using his footwork as he's going into contact, and he just manages to get a penalty. A couple of little steps, Leroy Cudjoe goes over the top of him.
Yeah.
And just on Leroy Cudjoe, I thought he was huge last week. Do you know, you look at his stats from last week at Magic, 48 tackles, 23 carries, 197 metres. He's certainly one of those players that has been in that Huddersfield system for years, and days like this will be hurting him. Gives a penalty away. And a bit more pressure again here, Huddersfield.
It's his 17th season in Super League, Leroy Cudjoe.
Incredible.
And he's just signed a deal to do another one as well. Wilson coming away here, though. And talking about an old player, we come to one of the new breeds as Harvey Wilson finds a bit of space and gets another try for the Salford Red Devils, and this is rapidly turning into a points avalanche.
Do you know, he cops a high shot, young Harvey Wilson, but he's the one who benefits, gets the penalty, and look at that, popular member of the squad. He gets that ball and he goes through. What about the footwork? Gets around the back. I think it was Tuilola here, scores the try, and the celebrations will start. He hits a really good line. He's smiling soon as he gets hold of that ball when he goes through. It was a nice direct line from the young man.
Huge smile on his face now as he's walking back to the centre line.
I tell you what,
enjoyed that.
It took some scoring as well, didn't it? From the young lad. It was a great effort. He come onto that ball, then he comes short, hit it with some speed, used the footwork, didn't panic as well when he had the full-back to beat.
Well, he's signed from Wigan till the end of the season, Harvey Wilson. Developed at some of the junior clubs such as Siddle and Oriel St James before having started his time at the Clockface Miners. But Siddle, of course, the side where both Luke Robinson and Jake Connor are doing some coaching at the moment. So connections all over the place in this game of ours.
Time back on.
Mark Sneed then. And normal service is resumed.
Well, it's a great afternoon if you're one of those Salford fans stood behind the sticks. You're looking at your side, you're looking at this young man coming running towards you. Nice footwork. No, and Tuilola here couldn't get his hand on him. Real poor defence from Tuilola here at the back.
Bullock then on his own 10 and getting some good meters as they wind this up again to go down the line here, Salford, and they're more than happy to just try and get the ball out to the flanks here and expose any weaknesses or frailties that Huddersfield might have, because plenty have been opened up so far this afternoon. Savelio goes in for the tackle.
Go free.
And all Salford want to do now is just seemingly play. Shifting the ball, offloading the ball. Mark Sneed with a long ball to Ethan Ryan.
And they found a little bit of space again with Ryan. Eventually brought down. Nenny McDonald is waiting just behind him. Goes running at defenders. Steals an extra few metres. Watkins was waiting, but gone for Mellor instead. Mellor away to his left side, and Mellor finding Sneed, who hoists another big kick straight into the hands of Tuilola. Runs it past the 10 and takes a few extra players with him as well.
He'll make some Decent meters then.
Good 10 extra for Tuilolahea.
Some of these Huddersfield players now need to really stick the hand up. They know they're under a bit of pressure, under the pump. Leroy Cudjoe, the most experienced, doing that.
Bibby to the halfway line. And he had to take 2 bites at him there, Ethan Ryan, before Russell finds Golding. Golding again, turning and twisting. Good running from him. Still a bit of spirit out there in amongst the Huddersfield players. The scoreline will be hurting them badly after what's been a pretty decent period of improvement in recent weeks under the stewardship of Luke Robinson.
Yeah, I'll be hurting with this result, this performance. What they've shown. I just can't find ways to win games. I said just 2 wins out of the last 9.
Yeah, Ian Watson departed in mid-July after a run of just 1 win in 8. And things did look like they were starting to turn a corner against Castleford last week, but Salford, having been stung by that poor performance, have really woken up here this afternoon as hands go in there from Kevin Nagama.
We're looking to play on the last tackle then. He's put under a bit of pressure, Mark Sneed. He steps off his left foot, he just readjusts, sets his sights again for what's going to come on, tips the ball on, and there's a play from Kevin Nagama. Again, another set of 6 here now. Salford just a couple of metres inside their own half.
It's getting a little cooler now here as the sun goes behind the clouds, which will benefit the Salford players, no doubt, as Nenny McDonald comes busting through in the middle here, still going. Nenny McDonald going for the line. Can anybody stop him? Getting past the defenders, just brought down a few metres from the line. What a run from Nenny McDonald. And they'll get another 6 here as well. Referee, though, has blown the whistle.
10 minutes in,
and somebody's going in the bin here.
Yeah. Well, it had to be, didn't it?
Russell.
In desperate defence, Nenny McDonald goes through, just went through that line. They just can't stop him. Well, his meters after contact, he's one of the best, isn't he? He's a player that's really, really hard to handle. And the Huddersfield players just doing everything they could to slow him down. Kieran Rush it was who comes up with the play. And then over the top, Ollie Russell, just a bit too long in there, and find himself sat on the bench now for 10 minutes.
So Ollie Russell becomes the 2nd Huddersfield player, and he's leaving the pitch at a snail's pace, and the referee's having words with him to tell him to get off. Savelio, of course, the other player for Huddersfield who was shown the yellow card earlier in the piece, as Nikarima gets the ball away. Ethan Ryan will do well to pick up the ball here.
Well, good defence from Jake Bibby. Then hunting, showing that they're still hungry here. And they're desperate, Huddersfield, now to keep them out.
Matty English has passed his head injury assessment, so will be coming back into proceedings fairly soon as Nikarima gets this one away to McDonald. 10 metres from the line again. As Watkins to Shorrocks to Sneed. And they're so quick down the line, time after time after time, as Hankinson is wrapped up against the byline. Back to Sneed again, now in the sunshine, which has come back out. Bullock. And this is so difficult to defend against. Jaden Nikarima. They do eventually get him down 10 metres from the line. This is the 5th. Mellor, as a player, tries to get out of the way. Short pass from Mellor to Shorrocks. Shorrocks, and then hands in at the ball there, and Nagama's come away with it.
Well, second time he's managed to get his hands on the ball, but it's forced another set of 6, and there's a bit of panic from Huddersfield. Hands up in the air, sticking your hand out because you're panicking. Shorrocks tries to play over the top of Kevin Nagama, and the space out there, that's what he's going for. He rescues that situation, but for just how long now for Huddersfield?
Well, we've still got a player down in back play who's having a bit of treatment. The Huddersfield physios really have earned their corn this afternoon.
Andres
Savelio, yeah. Well, they're battered and bruised in more ways than one here.
It doesn't get any easier, does it?
Just over 12 minutes of the second half gone. And 2 more tries scored in this second period so far, but it means that Savelio will be yet another player who's having to go off for a head injury assessment. Just in back play there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we got the
players, aren't they? Matty English will be coming on for him now. Player that has passed his HIA, been given the all clear to go on.
Meantime, Salford get it back, of course, from the scrum because of the hands that were thrown at the ball by Kevin Nagama as he desperately tried to take possession. They haven't got enough men in the scrum here.
No.
And I guess that's maybe sums up how Huddersfield have found this game so tough going. It's taking an awful long time to get everybody binded in here for this scrum.
Well, they're just waiting for Sebeka to come back onto the field here. They've got one man.
Well, this is the difficulty because they've had so many people going off and on with injuries, assessments, etc., etc., that it's going to be hard to keep a handle on everything that's going on for this side. Nikarima. Tackle 10 metres short. And still lingering on the tackle there. But eventually they get it away. And Bullock through the middle. Mellor waits, looking for support. Goes in towards Callum Watkins, back in towards Ryan Briley. Mellor goes short. Very quick hands from Nikarima. Ethan Ryan does well, dancing back inside. But the Huddersfield defenders stand strong. Nikarima waiting for it. He wanted to go short and quick. There'll be 6 again, though, because the markers weren't square there. They take it quickly, and Sneed looking to try and find some space, and he finds Hankinson dancing through the Huddersfield line. Good work from Hankinson again. There's Mellor. 10 short once more for Salford.
Great carry.
Smashing through the middle again from young Harvey Wilson. A couple of metres short again. Salford. Crash ball for Shorrocks. And it was a big impact on Shorrocks before Mellor goes to the line. Mellor is held up. Just held up. Joe Mellor. Shorrocks again waiting, but Mellor is claiming that he's not being allowed to get up from the floor here. Referee's going to have a word. Ash Golding has taken a knock.
Yeah, problem now with Ash Golding. They're really struggling. Huddersfield are out on the feet.
Yeah.
Feels really uncomfortable. You're just looking at him, looking at some of the players as well, and just stretching. Some of the Huddersfield players getting a bit of cramp and just overworked. They're just desperate to prevent Salford from going over again.
Harry Rushton is going to be coming back on here. He's past his HIA.
Taking some heavy collisions, aren't they?
They are.
Huddersfield, the players are leaving the field, taking some heavy collisions, so he's coming back on now to replace. I think it's Fenton Rogers. Well, we'll just be seeing how Ash Golding is. He whacked his head just as he went down. Didn't help with Tuilola here as well.
Yeah, I think he's just caught a bit of the back of Ashton Golding's head there.
It's just horrible in this bit, isn't it?
As he's tried to hold up Mellor.
The wind just blows through it.
And the good news is that Golding is okay. And the referee's going to get a green card out here, I think, by the looks of things.
You know, it's tough, isn't it? Because you could clearly see that there was a problem with Ash Golding, but because play had to stop, and clearly it had to stop just to make sure that he was okay, he's got to spend 2 minutes on the sideline now.
Whether he likes it or not, Ash Golding has to go off to get treatment and get looked at. Sneed, lovely ball into McDonald, and they were caught cold there, Huddersfield, and another try is scored. Nenny McDonald gets it, and what turned out to be a horrendous first half for Huddersfield Giants is turning it into an even worse one in the second.
Well, it just ended up a numbers game, didn't it? It was great work yet again from Salford, just to go at the line, go really deep into the line, and then Nenny McDonald, the right centre's gone over to the left-hand side. You can just see he goes in, and there's a bit of work from Shane Wright that's attracted those Huddersfield defenders. They're working hard from the inside. And young Kieran Rush gets caught in two minds, whether to go for Shane Wright or whether to stay on that man, Nenny McDonald. And doesn't he just love celebrating with the fans? He's a crowd favourite, Nenny McDonald.
Look at him jumping in there. He loves them and they love him. My word. Terrific work from Nenny McDonald. It's his 10th try of the season, so he hits double figures now. That's 6 different try scorers for Salford this afternoon. They really have taken Huddersfield apart. And as I say, we keep mentioning it, don't we, Terry? It's such a contrast to how it was last week at Magic.
Yeah, incredible, really. Like, well and truly beat last week against Leigh. The week before they played against Saint, it went to extra time, didn't it? They lost on that. They were so disappointed to lose by that 1 point in that close thriller. They won the previous 2.
Sneed then. Up go the flags, and that is now 8 from 9 for Mark Sneed.
Well, not bad when you got someone who can knock over those conversions, and when you get 4 points through the try, you get a further 2 with the boot from him. And Nenny McDonald, as I said, he just loves it, doesn't he? And those fans really do appreciate him as well.
Well, there may be a cricket test match going on up the road at Old Trafford, but Salford Red Devils closing in on a half-century here. As Bullock brings it forward for the home side. Bullock's had a good, solid game this afternoon, I think.
Yeah, he's been strong. He's a big, powerful man, isn't he, Joe Bullock? Started his career on the wing, ends up in there as a prop forward, and yeah, really big impact in the game.
He's appeared in the last 5 matches for Salford. They're away again here through Ryan Briley, and he's got loads of support. If he wants it, he goes short in towards Mark Sneed, who will get himself on the score sheet, this time in the column that says try, rather than the one that is filled with his name that has goals written across it. And Mark Sneed gets another for Salford. They break past the half-century, and this has been a devastating display by Paul Rowley's side.
Outstanding from them from start to this point in the game. They've turned up with the right attitude, and the forwards have done a decent job. And everyone who's had to play, whether it be Sneed or Nicarima or Ryan Briley, they've all done that. And Ryan Briley and Mark Sneed link up together. You could just see the amount of Salford players flooding forward. And the dejected Huddersfield players just having a day where you're thinking, wow, another one, what's going on? And you're looking around and you're looking for people to give you a bit of inspiration. You're looking at the scoreboard and you're just thinking, we can't control this. They look tired, they look desperate. And Salford, well, they're just full of it, aren't they? Outstanding.
I suppose there's times when you've just got to hold your hand up and say, we are getting beaten by a side that are well and truly in the groove this afternoon, a side that have showed consistently for the vast majority of the season that they are full of high quality players who can play high quality rugby league. And this is one of those occasions.
Yeah, well, Mark Sneyd now will just take his time now, get his breath back to try and convert. Here's another one. That's how you got some of the players and some of his teammates playing the way that they have done. I would love to know what was said this week after that loss against Lee last week.
Whatever it was, it worked.
Yeah, it certainly has. He's certainly set some challenges down to them, Paul Rowley.
Well, the cries from the crowd will tell you Mark Sneyd has put that one through.
Well, they're just letting the ball work now, throwing it through the hands. Riley, nice work. Getting Tuilola here interested. As soon as he got hold of that ball, Mark Sneyd, he knew he had to step to beat him. But they've got options everywhere. Everyone's pushing up. Everyone's support. They go for a short play here, and they get it as well.
Well, they're still not done yet. Here, Huddersfield Giants, is Halsall it was who received that ball, and Ikehihifo through the middle. So despite the fact that they are on the wrong end of a huge scoreline here, they're still having a go, Huddersfield, and quite right too. 20 metres from the Salford line. Golding, who's recovered from that knock by the looks of things, finding Ikehihifo again, trying to batter his way through the Salford line. Golding again, Cudjoe offloading quickly. That's a lovely, nice little step, and they've got a try through Sam Hewitt. And a little bit of a push and a bit of effort, and at the very least they've got themselves on the scoreline. Sam Hewitt restores just a tiny little bit of pride for the Huddersfield Giants.
Yeah, well, scores the try in his 100th career appearance. Well done, Sam Hewitt. Not giving it up. They went short from the kickoff. Sam Halsall got the ball back. They then get an opportunity, and Sam Hewitt, well, he benefits from just hitting a really good, aggressive line. Gets through from the play from Leroy Cudjoe.
Well, unfortunately, Tuilola hasn't been able to push that one through the posts.
Well, it's points on the board. No, it'd be interesting to know what, as well, they might go on to score a few more points, but Leroy Cudjoe just hits Sam Hewitt and he finds a way to get through. That's what we call just a determined run from Sam Hewitt.
I'm guessing it's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world if you get nilled in a game.
Yeah. But
I'm not saying it happened to you a lot when you were a player, but, you know.
You're getting me mixed up with Barry McDermott. I think what would be interesting to know later on, when you look at the scoreboard and you're looking at the 54 points, if you're a Salford fan, what Paul Rowley would think about conceding that try then. He'll be disappointed, let me tell you. He'll be waxing lyrical about what they've done with the ball. But then to concede a try like that, they will be disappointed. And that's not taking anything away from Sam Hewitt.
Lollahea then in towards English, who back on the field after managing to pass a HIA a little earlier. To the halfway line. And as we mentioned a little earlier, Jake Connor playing no further part in this game, having suffered a knee injury late on in the first half. He's now sat down by the sidelines and is dressed. So, as mentioned, he'll play no further part in this game. As the ball goes out on the far side.
Well, it's a nice shot. I'm sure it was Chris Atkin on Kieran Rush. Kieran Rush just trying to isolate Chris Atkin. He goes hard at him. He gets a shot from him, the ball goes forward and into touch. So again, the ball just goes into the hands of Salford.
Cross tackled. As we move into the last 17 minutes of this game, it's probably now just a case of how many more Salford think they might be able to score before the game is through, because they have got some very important games coming up, particularly, of course, next week when they are away at Hull KR. They've then got Catalans at home, Hull away and Wigan away. So that is one heck of a run-in, Terry, as they try and make sure that they secure a playoff place come the end of the season.
Yeah, well, they'll be looking to pick up a couple of wins from that. It'll be tough against Hull KR, tough against Wigan, but they'll be looking at Hull and Catalan. Maybe another 4 league points, they'll be thinking.
Singleton. Back out to Sneed. Sneed again. Trademark kick. Lollahea goes chasing for it and does well. But is brought down by Shorks and Watkins.
Well, they get a penalty, Salford. I'm not sure who it was that was chasing. I'm going to guess it was Nene MacDonald, because he does it all the time and that ball's kicked in the air.
The ball was falling here, he went that way.
Yeah, and there's a bit of an escort on Nene MacDonald. They get the penalty. Well, you can see him there.
Yeah.
And it was just a little nudge.
Just a little touch.
Yeah, Kevin Ngama.
By Ngama.
Certain players have got certain traits, and that's why you knew it was Nene MacDonald. And he said someone was took off the ball.
Singleton then pushing this forward. Amir Burra has come on as Shorrocks has been pushed back again. Amir Burra, who according to reports could be joining Hull next season. And an influx of players going in there for the black and whites. Meantime, in comes Watkins in towards Briley. Ryan Briley seals a hat-trick for the Salford Red Devils in what has been an absolutely incredible afternoon for them. And Ryan Briley says thank you very much, fingers in the ears, hat-trick.
Yeah, well, unselfish play, wasn't it, from Callum Watkins? He just tipped the ball over. I'm sure if Callum Watkins just took another step or two, he scores that try himself. And Ryan Briley, like you said, score a hat-trick now in this game, set a couple up as well. And it's good play when it's the right time to pass from Sneed, from Atkin, give the ball to Watkins, he goes through and then just gives the ball to the fullback, who's had a great afternoon, Ryan Briley. And in front of those Salford fans, and don't they just enjoy that? Like I said, a couple more steps for him. Callum Watkins, he scores that himself, but Ryan Briley, Callum Watkins, whoever it may be, it's just another 4, maybe 6 points. But it's just good play from both halves. And it sets it up. As soon as he gets that ball, you can see the finger in the air already at the back from Mark Sneed. As soon as Callum Watkins hit that line.
That is, would you believe, the 19th time in his career that Ryan Briley has scored a hat-trick. He's absolutely devastating from fullback. And he's now bettered his try total from last season as well, as he now moves on to 11 for the year. He got 10 last season. So another player who's having a fantastic season for the Salford Red Devils.
Do you know, I'd say this is the best performance of the year with the ball in hand, considering that they've still got 13 minutes to go. They go short again, and again it's just the hunger to get on the ball and react. The ball goes backwards. Was it Ethan Ryan who gets it? He's holding in, he's trying to milk a bit of a penalty. Gets tangled up with Ollie Russell.
Well, the last thing we want now at this stage in the game is for cards to be handed out for a bit of silliness.
jump forward like that again, please. Wait for me.
Well, there you go. Good telling off from the referee, Marcus Griffiths.
Yeah, well done, Marcus. Just simmer down, boys. Come on. What have we got? 12.5 minutes left. And you don't want to see that kind of thing going on. Salford then with Brad Singleton. Singleton eventually held in the tackle. Harry Rushton told to get on with things, but Kieran Rush has got an arm in there as well. Here's Borough, and as a result of that, they'll get 6 more here, Salford, which is the last thing that Huddersfield needs. There's Shane Wright. Down the line to Shorrocks. And a quick, a lovely bit of running through there from Chris Atkin. Another player who's had a really solid afternoon. Logan Lewis. Borough waits. Atkin to Sneed. Short again for McDonald, and he lays it off to Ethan Ryan. He got through the first tackler but was brought down by the second. McDonald in towards Sneed. Sneed to Shorrocks, and now Atkin again firing a long ball, and they've dropped that one. This will be a knock-on. The referee has called it back. Despite that, the player is running all the way towards a try line, and it's a real shame for Aidan McGowan, but he's been called all the way back here. Hands in again from Kevin Nagama.
Yeah, well,
is that the 3rd or 4th time he's done that?
Yeah, definitely the 3rd. He's done that. Aidan McGowan thought that he was away for Huddersfield's 2nd try. And Salford, they look full of it today. They've managed to play the game at their speed. They've dictated the speed of the game from start to finish. And what I've liked about them, when you look at the Huddersfield 4 points next to them, is that how they've defended in this game as well.
10 tries they've scored this afternoon, Salford. This man here, Brian Briley, has got 3 of them. 7 different try scorers as well. Nine tries in actual fact. My maths is terrible. Never was my strongest subject. There's Sneed down the left side. The reason I'm probably saying that is because Mark Sneed's had 10 kicks, but that includes a penalty.
Is that your get out card?
Something like that, yeah. Shorrocks. Nice ball into the middle as Salford get close to the line once again. Logan Lewis is taking a lot of time there, and well, here we go. Well, Sam Hewitt is losing his rag here as Tuilola gets involved.
I don't get Tuilola here. Like, do you know, there's 2 players coming together. He just makes it worse. I genuinely don't get it.
Well, Marcus Griffiths might have a bit of sorting out to do here. It's still going on. Tuilola isn't happy at all. Savelio's involved in the initial
there's hands in the face. They caught up. Hewitt and is it Logan Lewis that are caught up? Then there's a bit of a step
just
on him.
Catches
Yeah,
Logan Lewis on the back there.
Then that's okay. Well, two players come together.
Where
and
did Tuilola come in though?
Tuilola comes in and then starts gripping all the people, pulling them by the shirt, which just winds everybody up.
Yeah. So, before we had Ethan Ryan causing...
Look, I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. I've seen that a number of times from Tuilola here. I think what Tuilola here needs to do is concentrate about playing rugby.
Well, Marcus Griffiths sorting this one out, and he's just told the 2 captains to simmer things down, have a word with their players. There's no real need for anything like that at this stage in the game.
But again, I'll still say it. Tuilola here, he came in to get the penalty, but it's from what happened at the ruck, not from the actions of Tuilola here. If you want to win games, obviously they're not going to lose games. That
Hewitt and Lewis, there you go.
And you know what? I love that. I love that from Hewitt. There's a bit of coming together, and he's gone after Logan Lewis.
Fenton Rogers trying to roll his way off defenders as well. It's even at this stage with this scoreline, a bit tasty out there. Savelio, who's never afraid of a big tackle, goes in for a big one on Mellor. Golding gets 6 again here for Huddersfield. Golding again, nice ball out through the middle for Harry Rushton. Lollahea waiting. Golding shoves him out the way. Here is Lollahea, comes back inside. Decent tackle from Lewis, who's been heavily involved in pretty much everything this afternoon. There he is again. And Russell this time. As Golding finds Lollahea, needs some support, and he's found Bibby. 20 from the line, but Salford here showing that hunger again, just trying to push him out towards the line, but they were held up well short there. And Tui Lollahea getting involved again. This time with Chris Atkin.
They get a penalty for the ball, for a ball steal. Huddersfield. And again, Hewitt just goes straight and hard and direct.
Golding. Russell. English. 10 metres from the line. And they were going in with Russell with a show and go, but they were wise to that one. Salford. Golding again. Nice ball in through the middle for Fenton Rogers to go chasing through. Tacklers coming in all over the place. He looks like he might have stolen one here, Fenton Rogers, from close range. He has. The referee was in the right spot to see that one, and from out of nowhere, Fenton Rogers has got a second try for the Huddersfield Giants, just restoring a tiny, tiny little bit of pride.
You know, I like the way he plays the game, Fenton Rogers. When that bit of set 2 happened a minute or two ago, he was the second player to carry the ball. He gets rid of Brad Singleton. He's got 3 or 4 players just desperate to bring him down, and the young man manages to get down and dot the ball down underneath the sticks. Conversions kicked from Ollie Russell, but big play and big effort from that young man, Fenton Rogers.
Well, it looked for all the world like he was going to be held up short there, but somehow rolling and turning through the tackle, stretching out his hand to dab that ball down. That was great work from Fenton Rogers, and that's at least one little bright spark that Huddersfield will be able to take a small crumb of comfort from this game.
Well, just sheer effort. Like I said, like tries like that, they scored from determination. I'm not saying there's no skill in it, but the hard work and the effort that they put to get in and over the line and get rid of a big accomplished defender like Brad Singleton and carry a few others over the line.
So as Huddersfield receive the ball again, it's time for you to start thinking, Terry, about who is going to be your Betfred player of the match. I have a sneaking suspicion maybe a Salford player, but which one? Because quite a lot who have really been outstanding for the Red Devils this afternoon, so it's a tough choice for you to think about as Golding gets this one in towards Rogers, try scorer for Huddersfield. Lollahea playing it short, Savelio, and that's a nice ball out wide to the right-hand side. They're away here with Kieran Rush. Rush just looking for some support. He's got players right in front of him here, but still going. Kieran Rush gets a good offload out towards McGowan into the corner. A little purple patch here for Huddersfield Giants as we get towards the end of the game. Lollahea, and they roll it out and a kick ball into the corner, and that's nicely picked up, and that's a hand round the head there of Sam Halsall.
Well, he cocks one, doesn't he, Sam Halsall? And then McDonald goes over the top. It's not a penalty. And the referee's just saying to Matty English that it comes off the shoulder blade.
As a result, that's a turnover rather than a penalty.
Yeah, and he comes off second best himself. Nene MacDonald here. He goes over the top. There's no real contact with the head at all, and Huddersfield flying off the line. Now led by Ollie Russell.
MacDonald involved again here. As Atkin to Logan Lewis. On his own 10-metre line, as Amir Burra waits, and Lewis has copped another one. He's really had some treatment this afternoon. Hankinson.
It's the way he plays the game. He seems to get some treatment all the time. He carries hard. I said he's only youngster. He's come over here for an opportunity to play in Super League, and he certainly stands up, and he's taking that opportunity.
Just 22 years of age, Logan Lewis. That's Burra, and a lovely chip over the top for Ryan Briley to go chasing after again. Atkin goes at it, but eventually the referee blows the whistle. But we've got yet another Huddersfield player down, and it's Ash Golding, I think, has got a bit of cramp.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of them now cramping up. It's been a tough old game. Plenty of you've been doing a lot of defence. Nice play, wasn't it, between Briley and Mark Sneed? They called it, unfortunately. He just couldn't take that ball in. Ryan Briley.
Time for you then, Taz, to reveal who do you think deserves to take the award for Betfred Player of the Match this afternoon?
Well, I think in that first half in particular, for Jaden Nikarima was really good. Oh, Mark Sneed, as always, stands up. But for me, Ryan Briley has been exceptional at the back. Scored a hat-trick, as well as creating plenty as well, coming up with some big players as well in defence and organising and marshalling his troops. So yeah, Ryan Briley being my man of the match.
As we just see a replay of why Salford are getting the scrum. So Sneed will put this one in just a second or two, as Hankinson gets it as it comes out. Just waits. I'm happy to just run the clock out here. They've still got 2 minutes remaining as Singleton pushes forward. Nice offload from him. Burra to Hankinson. Cross just behind him, but they've let that ball go. It's a knock on.
You know, the ball from Salford, when it went out for Aidan McGowan to pick it up, it went backwards from Salford, and Aidan McGowan panics a bit, really, knocks the ball on, and Ryan Briley had a brilliant day today along with his side, and the contrast in Magic Weekend compared to today, incredible, really.
Well, wherever he's gone, he's scored a lot of tries. We mustn't forget that he scored 15 in 25 games for Huddersfield earlier on in his career.
Well, Logan Lewis going off for a HIA. And Harvey Wilson coming on to replace him for the final just over a minute.
Another good solid performance from Logan Lewis.
Got a couple of good young front rowers in Harvey Wilson and Logan Lewis, haven't they?
Burra waiting for it at dummy half. And to Ethan Ryan. Gets another couple of metres before Burra again. To Shorrocks. Oh, and then a drop ball. But it's gone backwards. The referee says play on. And Mark Sneed looking for some help from Callum Watkins. Jake Bibby eventually gets him down. Burra. Quick hands from Watkins again, and Atkin, and it could be Ethan Ryan here. Ethan Ryan, he loads the ball back inside. Huddersfield get it back. Tuilalahea coming through the middle. And that's a bit of a hospital pass there as Hankinson goes flying in with the challenge, but they've done well to get it away down to the right-hand side with McGowan. Well, that will be the last act of the game. We have had 70 points scored during this match, but it is the home side who are taking the 2 points, and by some distance, by 60 points to 10. that has been a command performance, Terry, by the Salford Red Devils.
Yeah, been outstanding, and just the response that Paul Rowley, Kurt Haggerty would have wanted after last week's defeat against Lee. Incredible to think that they managed to score 60 points, and last week they couldn't get over the line to score 1 point. And the Salford fans now celebrating, though they've been rightly entertained at home. And Salford, from start to finish, have been in control of that game.
They have been absolutely superb. Ryan Briley is the Betfred man of the match. We'll be hearing from him very shortly. But what a game he has had. One of so many different outstanding players, Terry. I guess it was hard to decide who exactly would be the player of the match in a game that's been such an outstanding team performance.
Yeah, like I said, like you look at the spine, you look at the players: Joe Mellor, Mark Sneed, Jaden Nikarima, Ryan Briley, Nene MacDonald, some big involvements from him. Callum Watkins, the list goes on. Well, the big performance was by the whole team, really. They knew that they had to turn up, they had to play really well. And they probably thought that they were going to be up against a really determined, committed Huddersfield side, but it wasn't to be from them.
Well, we knew that Salford needed a response after what was such a disappointing performance last week against Lee Leopards at Magic Weekend. Not only that, but a huge boost for confidence ahead of what will be a very, very difficult game against the current Super League leaders, Hull KR, away next week.
Yeah, well, that's it. But they lost 4 out of the last 6 coming into this game, and